YouTube superstar PewDiePie has apologized for his use of the N-word during a stream of a video game he was playing on his channel. Now, we can't use his video for copyright reasons, but I do want to read you the most relevant portion of that apology. He said, "I'm not gonna make any excuses as to why it did, because there are no excuses for it. I'm really sorry if I offended, hurt, or disappointed anyone with all of this. Being in the position I am, I should know better. I owe it to my audience and to myself to do better than this, because I know I'm better than this." He also said, "I'm disappointed in myself because it seems like I've learned nothing from these past controversies."
Yeah, interesting.
So I watched the full video, and it came across as a heartfelt apology. And so, look, for me, it was less about him saying that word. I mean, at this point, I feel like there's so much hideous stuff going on in the world that I'm desensitized to words, even though no one should use that word. But the part of the story that I thought was relevant was just like this constant complaining from people who create content on YouTube about advertisers pulling out. Yes, advertisers pull out when they feel uncomfortable with your content, and it affects all of us, not just the person who puts out that so-called questionable content, right? By the way, my favorite part about this story was some of the reaction that we got on Twitter. One person thought that I was monstrous for supporting the video game developer who decided to do copyright strikes against PewDiePie to take his content away from PewDiePie's channel.
Actually, let me update you guys. Monstrous. Let me update you guys on that poll, because we did that poll. Should video game developers issue copyright strikes on PewDiePie? And that was tytnetwork.com/pi, and only 33.5% said yes. 66.5% said no, they shouldn't. And I had said no, you had said yes. It's an interesting conversation. Even though I disagreed with you a little bit, I did not think you were monstrous. Okay.
Right, and look, I think the framing of that question is a little off, because whether or not they should isn't the answer that I was giving. I was saying, yeah, advertisers and companies get to decide, and they should be able to decide.
No, like, but we all agree to that.
Yeah, exactly.
Of course they can decide.
You can't force anyone. I mean, it's just like television. You can't force advertisers to advertise on any given show. I mean, that's ridiculous. Yeah. And so, look, actions and words and the way you do your show has consequences. And that has nothing to do with the First Amendment. A company gets to decide where they advertise or where they have their content.
And look, I think that it was a good apology, and so let's all move on. As I said yesterday, I think that he's largely joking. I hope that he is. I believe that he is, and my sense of it is that he thinks people are overly sensitive to it because we are beyond those issues. As we pointed out yesterday, I don't think we're beyond the racial issues at all. I mean, we just reported yesterday on an 8-year-old kid being hung by some 14-year-old white kids, and then the cop was like, "Oh, I want to protect the feelings of the 14-year-old white kids." And so I don't think we're beyond those racial issues at all. And it seems like PewDiePie in that apology is saying, like, I get it. It's not just a word, and we're not beyond it. And in fact, I think that Anna basically kind of laid out for him why she had objected to what he said. I want to just show that clip real quick from yesterday's show.
Like I said, I don't know PewDiePie personally. I've never had a conversation with him. The only thing I do know about him is that he has already gotten in trouble for anti-Semitic jokes and anti-Semitic imagery. It seems like he didn't learn much from that, because he pulls this again.
It's almost as if they watched the clip, because the quote that Anna just read was, he said, "I'm disappointed in myself because it seems like I've learned nothing from these past controversies." So I don't know if they actually watched the clip or not, and that's not important. The point is that it is a good apology, because he's saying, come on, just like Anna pointed out yesterday, you should learn from your previous mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. But I wish we were done with anti-Semitism, but we aren't. I wish we were done with Nazis, but we aren't, as PewDiePie himself pointed out after Charlottesville. And I wish we were done with people using the N-word seriously, but we aren't. And so I think that he gets that now. I hope he gets it. And that's what and my main overall point from yesterday, and I'll repeat today, is this is a good moment to have a conversation about it. I believe that we can all learn from this conversation. I don't want to shut that down. There are some people you can't talk to. They have no interest of ever learning or changing or growing from a mistake. I don't, right or wrong, I don't put PewDiePie in that category, and it seems like he did learn. And it's not to say learn as in like you have to agree with our ideology or our politics. I don't know what PewDiePie's politics are at all. That's not the issue here. It's just to say, hey, if it turns out you're doing something that is deeply offensive, like calling people the worst name you could think of and associating it with black people, that's probably not a cool thing to do. Just don't be a dick. And he's saying, I get it. I think that's excellent progress and exactly why you have the conversations. If you like this video, you probably like independent media. The best way to support independent media, become a member of the Young Turks. tytnetwork.com/join.